Hello and welcome again to Minecraft Dad with me, Paul McJ. Now today we are going to be building a home cinema or home theatre. Now we're going to be doing this with command blocks. If you're not familiar with these, I'll show you how to use them in the video. So here's our projector and there's our screen, and we're just going to simply press our button here and this will display our movie. There we are, a little sun, clouds going across, sun setting, going dark and going off. I'll show you that again. Clouds going across, sun going down, night, dark. So for this video we're going to need the following settings on. So go into your settings and make sure that show coordinates are switched on, because those are a very important part of this video. Activate cheats, and also importantly command blocks enabled. Now we're also going to need to put the following commands in as well before we start our build. So / give username command _ block. So that should give you a command block. And we're also going to need to put the other following code in. So / game rule command block output false. So that should switch all the text output into command blocks on the left hand corner of the screen. Now let's start our build. So first of all we're going to need to build a frame for our animation to display in. So usually we do a widescreen one. I'm just going to do a normal frame, and this particular frame here that I've built is 12 spaces across. 12 spaces up, so it's a 12 by 12 frame. Now we're also going to need to put our animation in this, so this is going to be a 10 by 10 frame. Don't worry about the bottom row there, because that's just that's not going to be spawned into the frame. So first of all we're going to need, I'll get our coordinates for our frame. So this is the bottom coordinate we're going to need. So in my case it's 2095942. Of course that's going to be different in your build. And then the top left hand coordinate here, which is in my case 2094933. The third set of coordinates we'll be needing is where it's going to be spawning to, or clothing to. In my case this is 1885954. So I'll just show you how this works briefly. So if I put the following command in there, clone 2095942 210.4 D963, and then the final set of coordinates, and it just clones that section there into that frame. So that's essentially how this is going to work, but we're going to be running it off a series of command blocks. Now I've just put my first frame of animation in, so I'll just put a sun into that block, into that frame of animation there. And we're going to build other frames then across and change them slightly to make an animation. So I'm just going to write this coordinate down, because rather than just essentially just building that frame each time, I'm just going to use the clone command and just copy that previous frame onto the position in front. So I'll put that new coordinate down. We're not going to be using this in the final build. It's just literally it's just easier to do it this way. Saves you a lot of time. So I've just spawned that first frame to the second frame. As you can see, we got two frames there, and I'm just going to make some slight change to that frame. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start building the cloud that goes across. So it's a subtle change, because we'll be using multiple frames of animation. So I've just built a few more frames. So by this point the cloud has gone across the sun and is coming off the side of the screen. So I'm just going to use the first frame of animation as the last bit of animation in this sequence. So I'm just going to put the sun back there and just replace those back with blue sky. Because now the cloud cover is passed, is just going to leave the sun there gloriously by itself, like so. So as you can see there, we've got 7 frames of animation, and it ends on the same frame as the first. Right, so let's get to the second part of the animation. Right, so I've just respawned that same area there, but if you can see, the sun is one position lower. But we're also going to need a second set of coordinates now, because I've built a new frame in a different area, so we'll just get those coordinates as well. Remember to write all these down because you will need them later. I'm just going to build another sequence of frames where that sun will be completely set, the night sky should change, and then we'll be fully in the darkness. So there we are, almost towards the end of the animation. So as you can see, I've changed the backdrop to blue, and the sun is halfway set. Right, so let's add another frame. So let's make the sun a bit lower again. Just going to take that bottom row out. With the darkening sky. There we go. Now we're also almost towards the end now, so as the sun is completely set, I'm just going to change the dark blue to a black. And the last frame is going to be and this will simulate the screen being off. Not nighttime, but the screen being completely switched off. And it's the end of the movie. So there we are, that's my frame of animations complete. So we've got two sections, one with 7 frames and one with 6 frames. So 13 frames of animation in total. It's quite a bit of a short film. So just make sure that you've written down the X and Y coordinates for each of those individual layers of frame, and then what we're going to do is form them to the third coordinate in that frame. So now we're just going to build all the redstone and command blocks to make this work. So we're going to put 2 repeaters like that. I'm just going to leave that one a 1 tick, and that one a 4 ticks. Now get your command block out, and we're just going to simply lay out a set of 13 command blocks spaced out with repeaters of 4 ticks delay. So I'm just going to do the first 7 here. Right, so I'm just going to do the last 6. So as you see, after the 7, I just turn it around so it's not all one big giant block of lines. This makes it a bit easier on the eye. Right, so all 13 command blocks and repeaters are placed. I'm just going to put another command block there because that's going to be part of our sequence to switch the cylinder on. I'm going to create a button for that in a moment, but first of all we need to place all our commands into these command blocks. Right, so we'll put the first command in, which is the very first frame. So we just need to make sure that their setter needs redstone and it's an impulse command. Nothing fancy going on here. So you put in your / clone. So the very first frame that we wrote down, and our third set of coordinates, which is the coordinate in the frame, which we clone this to. So 188, 5, 9, 5, 4. So let's just make sure this works, otherwise if there's going to be errors it's not going to be great. So I'm just going to put a temporary lever there, place it on the command block, and then if you see the first frame spawns into there. So every command block is going to be a different section of that animation. So I'm going to quickly run through now and just put all the frames into each individual command block. So that's the end of the animation, which is the black screen. Right, so let's just test this works. We are from behind, remember, so it looks cool. Let's go dark and then off. So we just need to make a button now to switch this on. So I'm just going to get we don't need that there. So we need another set of coordinates, which we will need that coordinate for that space there. For me, that's 1954946. So what we're going to do essentially is use a set block command, and we're going to spawn a redstone block into that section there. We're just going to activate the circuit to the right. It's also going to activate the circuit to the left, which is going to be a set block air command to get into the block. So I'm just going to, doesn't matter where this goes for the moment, you can always change it later. So I'm just going to just temporarily put it here. Just going to crouch down and put a button on it. That's if you were wondering how you put a command, if you put buttons or levers on a command block. So we're going to use a different command here. We're going to use the set block command, which is / set block. Now we just need to put the coordinates for that space in there. So we want redstone _ block. So we'll press it and then see that frame animation starts working. And if you notice, that redstone block is still there. So let's get rid of that, because we need to put a code in that command block there. So we've got a slight delay in it. So 4 ticks. So we're going to put a set block command in there again, so set block. Same set of coordinates again, 1954946, but this time we're going to put air in there. So that will get rid of that redstone block. So let's press the button again. The redstone block disappears, but it's also activated that redstone circuit. There we are, and it will complete. Press it again, and we'll do it again. So all we need to do now is just build our cinema complex around this screen. Hide all that redstone, hide all that animation frames. Now, you can do this however you want. You know, I'm not going to do a tutorial in this part. You can assign it, you know, any way that you want to fit around the frame. So I'm just going to build a quick little build like this. So some little steps and a little frame around for a roof, and I'm just going to quickly fill all this in, just do a basic design on it. So this is it complete. Made a little bit of projector there, you can see. There's my screen, and just some sea lantern lighting around. Probably bother to do any redstone lighting. Only a quick tutorial. There's our exit out. As you see on the projector there, so it's just an activated piston with some comparators and observers. And I've moved our button up to the top there. I may hide it later, but I'll just put it there for now. And we run the animation, and it works lovely. Now you can make that animation as long as complicated as you want, but anyhow, that's it for now. If you like what you've seen, and you know, hit like and subscribe, and I shall see you again on the next video. Ciao for now.